connect base frame parts as shown in scheme 1.1. Ensure frame is level and diagonals are equal, x equals y. Join parts with 5x90 screws using a level and a drill. Remember to fasten these screws at an angle when you're applying them. Between the wooden support beams there should be a 376mm gap as seen in the manual. Leave a 45mm gap between AR2 parts for VR1 drainage detail. Place VR1 on top, no fixings needed. Caution, wear gloves, VR1 has sharp edges. VR1 is the drain. In the video you'll see there's two pieces to the drain. That's because it was a prototype sauna and we had to cut to fit it. Don't worry, your sauna is going to have one drain piece and it's going to be correctly sized as well. Now you'll see in the video that there's these two wide pieces of wood that go across each other on the support frame. Don't worry about that. You don't need them or you're not going to have them anyway. They were just there because we were flipping this support frame around to put extra beams underneath so a forklift could lift the cabin up. So you don't need them, don't stress about it. And here you can see the support beams underneath the frame. Just because of that forklift, like I mentioned, we need to move the cabin around. And like I said, you don't need these, or do you have these in the package anyways? It's just in the video when we did the prototype. Let's move on. Step 2, walls. Place the first row of wall logs on the base frame as shown in scheme 2.1. Logs should extend 5mm beyond the base on all sides. Fix the logs with 6x180 and 5x90 screws. Remember to apply the silicone in the groove between each row. Place the second row on top. Fix with 4.5 by 70 and 6 by 180 screws. Secure all wall logs with 6 by 180 screws. Attach logs to P0 posts using 4.5 by 70 screws. Please remember to refer to the manual for more exact details on placement and what should be used. Use a heating block and a rubber mallet to set it in place. Step 3. Roof boards and ceiling. Attach T3 beams to front and back walls. Leave around 2mm gap at ends. Top edge must be flush with wall tops. Use 4.5 by 70 screws. See scheme 3.1. Temporarily place one KL1 roof board on top of the front and back walls. Mark the diagonal that forms under the detail on the side walls with a pencil. These markings will determine the installation height of the ceiling beams. Measure out the spacing between the ceiling beams and mark the locations on both side walls, like shown in scheme 3.2. Fix joist hangers to T1 and T2 beams, flush with ends. Attach beams to side walls using 5 by 40 screws. See scheme 3.3. Install DL1 distance board under the front T1 beam using 5 by 40 screws. Install roof boards flush with side walls, starting from the right. Fix each with 70mm nails. Cut last board to fit with a circular saw. Once roof boards are in, attach T1 beam underneath, flush at the front. See scheme 3.4. Use angle brackets and the 5x40 screws. Install 01F roof block on top of the roof boards, flush with the front edge. Fix with 4.5x70 screws. Remember to apply silicone to all edges of the sauna roof for that nice and sealed finish. Step 4. Floor. Place slope veneers on the base frame for drainage. Fixing these with screws is optional, see scheme 4.1. And here you basically want to put the thickest piece of veneer at the front and back end of the sauna, and then slowly continue go thinner and thinner. So first at the front and back you have 9mm thick, then you move on to 6mm, then 3mm, and then you have the drain itself. That's how you create the nice little slope in the cabin. Install floorboards from the right, leaving around 3mm gap at all walls. This gap is for any wood expansion that happens when the wood heats up and cools down. Fix the boards with 3.5x50 screws, see scheme 4.2. Cut the last board to fit. And here you can see we just sand down those sharp edges of the sauna floor. Since you're going to be working on the sauna from the inside now on top of the floor, you want to cover that with something soft and just to keep the floor clean when you're done with the whole installation. Seal all the outside corners of the sauna with transparent silicone to prevent moisture and rainwater from entering the sauna. Apply silicone to the open-end grains at the back wall and spread it with a spatula to about 1 millimeter thickness. You will also want to seal all screw holes visible from the outside, so remember to put the silicone also on top of the screws. For extra protection, tape doors and windows and all outside corners of the sauna with moisture safety tape before installing the exterior moldings. Scheme 7.2. Attach L1 roof moldings flush with the top of the walls. Cut to length and fix with 3x40 black screws. Measure, cut, and install L2 corner moldings to the walls. Make corner cutouts as shown in Scheme 7.4. Here we made a hole to run the wiring for the spotlights in front of the sauna. And here's the wiring for the control panel that connects to the sauna heater. Please do refer to the sauna heater's manual for more exact instructions. Now you can see the wiring we ran for the lights. This is how we did in our prototype sauna, but please do refer with your local electrician and figure out how is the best for your own setup. Then we drilled through the support beams on the roof to run that temperature sensor cable for the sauna heater. Here's a pro tip. So you know what each cable is, remember to mark the ends with a tape, for example, and write temperature sensor, lights, spotlights, whatever you are doing at the moment. Attach the remaining P1 posts to the side walls with 4.5 by 70 screws. Install STP2 outer lining boards from bottom up. Fix with 40mm lost head nails, 2 per board. See scheme 7.3. Back to the roof. Cut insulation boards to size and install between ceiling beams. Seal all edges and joints with foil tape. See scheme 3.5. Install ceiling boards on top of beams. Leave around 3mm gap at walls. Use 40mm lost head nails. Last piece will most likely need to be cut to size. Measure, cut, and install L2 corner moldings to the walls. Measure the overall width of the sauna and cut the metal drip edge to that length minus 2 mm using sheet metal scissors. Remember to wear gloves for protection while cutting. Measure and mark 58 mm on the top side of the drip edge at both ends. Then cut out these marked sections as shown in scheme 10.1. Place the drip edge on top of the roof boards and secure it using 4.2 by 25 black Veronic screws. Space the screws approximately 200 mm apart as shown in scheme 10.2. Roughen the upper surface of the drip edge with a sanding pad. Then apply EPDM Quick Prime Primer on top. Cut the double-sided splice tape to length, remove the cover from one side and place it on the primer-coated drip edge. Do not remove the cover from the top side of the tape at this stage. Clear the roof of all debris and fasteners and thoroughly clean the surface to eliminate dirt, dust, ice, snow, water, and any other contaminants. Before and during installation, check the packaging and EPDM roll for any damage. Position the rubber roof cover carefully, ensuring it is parallel to the walls and extends evenly on both sides of the sauna. Fold back half of the roof cover and begin applying glue to both of the roof boards and the rubber. Always work in a well-ventilated area and wear gloves, safety goggles, and a respirator for safety. Leave approximately 10 cm of the back wall without glue to allow for attachment to the splice tape later. Attention! Wait until the glue is dry to the touch on both surfaces, approximately 15 minutes or longer, before folding the rubber back into place. Allowing adequate waiting time is crucial to prevent bubbling in the rubber once it is set. Turn the glue-coated rubber onto the prepared roof boards and smooth it out with a broom or brush, ensuring that no wrinkles or bubbles form. Repeat this process with other half of the roof cover and then glue the rubber to the side walls. Remove the top cover from the double-sided splice tape and press the primed rubber onto it. Trim any excess materials from all sides using scissors. Measure the overall depth of the sauna, add 160 mm to that measurement, and then cut the sidewall roofing sheets to length using sheet metal scissors. Be sure to wear gloves for protection while cutting. At the rear ends, cut off 45 mm from the inner side of the roofing sheet. At the front ends, cut off 58 mm from the inner side of the roofing sheet as indicated in scheme 10.6. Attach UR1 and UR2 frame parts around the door and windows using 4.5 by 70 screws. See Scheme 5.1. Important, the inclined part of the window frame must face indoors at the bottom, marked with a sticker. Lift and tilt the door and windows diagonally into the opening from inside. You can remove the door glass from hinges to reduce weight if needed. Reattach the glass and install the door handles if you did remove them previously. Fix frames to front wall from outside with 4.5 by 70 screws. Fill gaps around windows and door with foam for insulation. Cut the ventilation holes in the walls with a diameter of 127 millimeters and 122 millimeter using a hole saw. Remember, what you're seeing in the video is a prototype version of the sauna you have, so it might not be exactly how it is set. For example, the interior benching is completely different as in the prototype because we had to change things a bit and make it a lot stronger to handle the weight of all the people inside. So that's why we didn't show any of the sauna benches on this video. The idea of this video is to give you a general idea of what the whole cabin requires from your construction team to do. Please refer to the installation manual for any exact details because it may vary on the video and the cabin you have in real life. The installation manual remains as #1 reference point. The video is just for an idea.